Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyato Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Pritvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. Okay, so let us chant this 2-1 and 2-2. So Deepa, go ahead, unmute yourself. So you're going to chant from 2-1 onwards. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Atha
Atha
Chaturvimshati
Tattvabodha
Tattvotpatti Prakaram Tattvotpatti Tattva Utpatti Prakaram Bhakshyamaha Brahmashraya Tatvarajastamo Sattvam, yes.
Sattvarajastamo Gunatmika
Maya asti. Okay, keep yourself unmuted. And him, you can also unmute yourself. So, talking about Srishti Vichara, inquiry into the nature of the world, nature of Ishvara. Nature of the world means also includes Ishvara in that. That is the topic we are doing. Tattvabodha Vicharaha, in other words. So last time we saw the main topic, which is that Ishvara is Nimitta Karanam. Number one, is the so-called creator, efficient cause of this world, the maker of this world, therefore called Nimitta Karanam, technical word. And then we analyzed and said Ishvara cannot go outside like going to the kitchen and getting vegetables and mixing it, boiling it in water and putting salt. He went there and he borrowed this and that. This is not possible. Therefore, Ishvara has to be the material also. Whatever material is needed for the creation, that also is Ishvara. And therefore, we said Ishvara is Upadana Karanam. Upadana Karanam. Technical word again. Then we said this Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam cannot be different, which is the implication. And so we talk about Ishvara as Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. Abhinna means what? Bhinnaha means Bhedaha. Bhedaha means separation, difference. Abhinnaha means non-difference, non-separation. So this Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam, normally the pot maker is different from the clay, the material, and clay and all the instruments and everything are different. Pot maker is different, and the pot maker uses the materials to make what is called the pot. But here it is not like that. The material and the maker are one and the same. One and the same. So Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. And we gave a couple of examples which we already knew. And we elaborated on that. The Urnanabihi spider as an example. And also our dream. Perfect example for appreciating. Because otherwise we need an example. The example is very important because otherwise we can't appreciate. How can the material and the maker be identical? This question will arise. Because we need an example. So our Shastram does a great job of saying these are the examples, and it even gives the example of spider. But dream I can understand, okay, the maker and material are just literally identical. Spider, at least we can think through and say, but Jayakumarji, you're saying this web comes from the spider, but to make this web, it got some food from outside. Like that, possibilities can be there. Yeah, those possibilities are there. So we are only taking the example to that much to say that that web also comes out of the spider. Beautiful example. Amazing that they used to observe all these things. Because they also wanted to find out an example to tell us, to teach us. So we saw that. This is what we learned in the last class. And so because of this vision, clearly this vision doesn't exist in any other type of dharma, any other type of religion. So we said, this is why we say, when somebody says, is Hinduism polytheistic or monotheistic? We say, Hinduism is not polytheistic. It doesn't have many gods. There are many devatas, but Ishvara, not many. Then what about one God? Everybody says they have their own unique God. We should also claim something, right? The pressure to claim is there. So we also have one God. What is that one God? No, we don't have one God. We say not many gods. We say not one God. We say there is only God. Only Ishvara. If you want to remove the word God, we say there is only Ishvara. Nothing else. There is no second. This is Sanatana Dharma. This is our vision. Okay. So therefore we said, because of this vision, we are able to see sanctity, sacredness in every object. No object for us is, because no object is separate from Ishvara, every object is sacred, and therefore when I step on a piece of paper or step on any object by mistake, I will seek pardon. This is where all this culture comes from. So worshipping, they say you worship snakes and you worship trees. We don't worship trees. Who said we worship trees? We worship Ishvara manifest in the tree. We worship Ishvara manifest in the cow. So this is to be made clear. And so that is the beauty of this dharma, that we are able to see that everything is sacred. So until this we saw last class. So therefore, even if there is a person in India who is not religious, who doesn't really go to the temple or, sit down in the evening and do some puja and all that. He doesn't do all that. There also, you scratch the surface a little bit, you talk to him, you will find that that person has this vision with him. The same, that vision is manifest in some form or the other. He will also seek pardon. Without his knowledge, he will do this. Which means that vision is manifest. So that reverence is always there. Okay. So therefore, even when we look at environmentalism and things like that, in the West, environmentalism is a little different because, you have to protect the flora and fauna. You have to protect the trees. You have to grow trees. You can't simply, because if the trees are not there, then my life is jeopardized. My life is in danger. But in India, the vision is different. The trees have to survive, not because I have to survive, but trees have to survive because they have a right to survive. They have a right to survive. That's it. And so animals have a right to survive, and so we can't kill them, simply. That is the vision here. So therefore, there are some differences that we have to recognize. So therefore, with that vision, now what can I do? I have to, in order to appreciate this vision, I have to develop a bonding with Ishvara. Such a massive Ishvara is there, including me also, and I don't see this vision. Therefore, our Shastram offers all our puja, parayanam, ityadi, and ways of doing puja, ways of doing ritual, the homa, etc. are all there, and simple prayers, esoteric prayers and pujas, esoteric rituals. Everything is available, given to me for me to use. For me to use in developing that bhakti. Because if the vision is like this, then I must have some tools, as they say these days, tools to gain that mindset, to see this vision. So nothing is outside Ishvara. Correct? Nothing is outside this order. When I see this order, I am seeing Ishvara. For us, Ishvara and order are not different things. Everything that is happening, the day and night, the earth is revolving and rotating, all this is fantastic order. That order is Ishvara. Then I apply the order to myself also. So this growth is part of that order. This decline is part of the order. The body, that's how it works. The entire science of the health is part of that order. And then what about my mind? Then I seem to say, things never work out for me. Why does God do this to me? Why did he do this to my daughter? So like this questions, sometimes it arises in our minds. Correct? And so this question need not arise if I see the vision that everything is in order. I am not specifically chosen, targeted by God and say, I'm going to have fun with this guy for a while and let's see how he deals with it. No, that is not possible. Even the so-called God cannot be partial. Cannot. because it's all part of the order. And partiality cannot happen. Can't happen. That's the beauty of this order we are talking about. It's not like the uncle or the aunt or the teacher who is partial to some students. Favorites, they have favorites. And the favorite student, whatever he or she does is okay. But when I do something, simply I open my mouth a little bit, she comes with a stick. And so I can't handle this as a child. As a child, this happened. So this order, as a child, everybody grows properly, in the sense everybody has this vision. And that innocence, that bond is always there. We are all born with this view that really there is no difference between me and the world. That is why the child is so free. And it is just, everything is there. And I am part of this everything, and everything belongs to me also. So this child I was talking about doesn't see any difference. Doesn't see any difference between itself and the world. It has no idea of boundaries. And that is why then the parents say, no, don't touch that. That is dad's. Don't go there. That is your brother's, and this is your sister. And you can't eat like this. You have to share it with your sister. This goes on, and this child doesn't understand what sharing you're talking about. And what is this mine, yours, and all that? It has no idea at all. And that is your neighbor, and you can't take the toy from him. It belongs to him and him. So, and then it goes to the store, and then it picks up something, and then it says, no, it's too expensive. What? It's too expensive. What is expensive? This child has no idea. Child sees no barriers whatsoever. And slowly this individuality grows into it. And all these limitations are being taught to it. And mine, yours, and he, and you, and his uncle, and she's aunt, and your name is Vikram, and like this, it is told so many things. And then they say terrible two. Have you heard of terrible two? What is terrible two? Terrible two is this transitioning from this idea of infinitude to complete limitation, that you can't do this, you are this, and you are this, and you are this, and you are this, and finally I'm reduced to this body, mind, sense complex, and you have to ask my permission for everything. Okay, that is this child can't handle it, and that's terrible too. Conflict. The child doesn't know how to express this conflict, but this is what happens. And it wants to be free, and then I restrict its freedom. And so that bond that I had with Ishvara, as Swamiji would say, got disturbed. The child is always innocent, and it will take whatever comes. It trusts the entire humanity. It trusts the mother and father. It has to trust the hands that hold the child. This child has no choice. Child has absolutely no choice, and so it has to trust. And that trust is natural. It comes, and in that trust it grows. And if the trust gets violated, then it is shattering. It's shattering, and the child suffers trauma and this and that. Fine. And that trauma has to be processed later on. So we seek Ishvara's help and blessing so that can happen. So anything gained in innocence gets disturbed and has to be corrected through knowledge as we grow up. And so we go through all these emotional issues, and we talk to our psychologists and and others, and then we hope that repairing process happens. And the Shastram is a great repairer. Ishvara is a great repairman, if you want to call it, repair person. And that's why we have to, this relating to Ishvara is very important. Very important. Because we need to, our innocence has been, our basic knowledge has been disturbed. We all had this knowledge. So to speak, had the knowledge means I more or less could appreciate. That's why when I talk to children about this, they're very excited. They think as though this is true. This can't be but true. How come these children are able to appreciate Vedanta so quickly? Because in their mind, they don't see barriers. The barrier is artificial. You tell them, they say, yeah, the barrier must be artificial. They're willing to accept that. So that shows that they have that thing in them. Okay. So having said all this, so the author uses the word Maya. Brahmashraya Maya Asti. So, whenever there is a creation, even physics makes it very clear that matter and energy are there, and matter and energy is always conserved. There is no question of suddenly creating matter. God created the world on the 6th day out of nothing. This kind of statement not acceptable for us. So having appreciated that, we say, okay, the creation is there. There is a pot, and the pot is a creation, and it must have a cause. And the cause is clay, and the cause is the pot maker. And we know very inherently, we know that whenever a product is seen, it must have a cause. Must have a cause. If I don't see the cause must be potential at least. That means what? The tree has its cause in the seed. The mango tree has its cause in the mango seed. The mango seed must have all the attributes of the mango tree. Correct?
Correct.
Correct. Even though I can't see those attributes in the seed. What is the seed? Some seeds are small, some seeds are so big, and there is no connection between the mango seed and the mango tree. Say if I put the seed without knowing what seed is, you can't say what the tree will look like. Is it a plant? Will it, how big it grows? What kind of fruit it gives? Nothing. You can't see anything because those attributes are all unmanifest. They are there hiding in the seed. So that potential form of this universe, of this Jagat, is called Maya. It's called Maya. So Brahma is all pervasive. We saw that. The Atma is there. It's attributeless. How can an attributeless entity create a world full of variety and vichitram and attributes? Because the qualities of the created product must exist in the cause of that created product. But Brahma has no attributes. Brahma is nirguna. It can't have attributes. It can't have a shape. Infinite. Only a finite thing can have a shape. Therefore, this Brahma really cannot create anything. Brahma is helpless. Brahma is impotent. It can't create anything. Consciousness cannot create anything. Therefore, the Shastram introduces what's called Maya. There has to be something. Maya must be there in potential form. in order to create this world. Okay? This is how Maya is introduced. They say Maya is delusion and all that. Where Maya is delusion? Hey, you are making a very logical statement here. We are saying Brahma is Nirguna, and Brahma cannot therefore be a cause. If it is a cause, then it has to have something else which has attributes as though to create this world, which also has attributes. And so that something is called Maya. But then this Maya and Brahman cannot be two separate things. Because if there are two separate things, there are two separate realities, parallel realities. And Brahma is one reality and Maya is another reality. They are two independent things. That's not possible. Then if that was the case, both Maya is limited and Brahma is limited. Because Brahma is limited by Maya, Maya is limited by Brahma. I say apple is there, orange is there. Apple is apple. Apple is limited by orange because apple is not orange. That's a limitation, correct? Limitation. Orange is not apple. Limited. So orange is limited by apple, apple is limited by orange. So that's not possible. Therefore, Brahma Ashraya Maya. Means what? Maya, depending on Brahman, is there, which has the potential, which has all the attributes of the world that is to be created, must be there. Must be there. This is how Maya is introduced in our Shastra. So as though, then they said Maya. Therefore, Brahman along with Maya only can create this world. This is how we get the idea of Ishvara and Ishwari. Parameshwara, Parameshwari. Vishnu, Lakshmi. This is how it works. Both are needed for the creation. Shiva cannot do anything by himself. Not possible. Shiva needs Parvati. Fantastic model it is. Even to visualize it, we are okay with it because that's how we've seen creation in this world. So Maya is like the universal mother. Means the mother of this universe. That is the way to visualize it. They have visualized it that way. So even there is a small plant that was growing from this wall in the cement wall behind us. Other day we were seeing and said, how is it possible? How can a plant grow from a cement wall? It's not possible. So then we have to infer that in those crevices, somehow some bird may have deposited some seed or something must have happened, and the rain, of course, is pouring. And so that seed decided to germinate, and the plant is growing. Nicely, it's growing like this. And there must be enough nutrition there, and somehow it's getting some nutrition that it is growing. So cause is inferred from the effect, from the world. And so we infer the seed from the plant, wherever the plant is. And so we are saying that this cause of the universe is Brahma in combination with Maya. As though in combination with Maya. And this Maya has several words. If you study the Shastram, you will begin to find words like Prakriti. Then Pradhanam is one word. And Shaktihi. And then Avyaktam. Some of these words we will see. And another word, Avyakritaha. So these are all words which, synonymous words, depending on the context, it refers to Maya. Refers to Maya. So, Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter. So, first or second verse, I think. Prakritim Purushan Chaiva. So, Some of you may know. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajna Evacha Etad Veditum Ichhami Jnanam Nyeyam Cha Keshava. So like that, Veditum Ichhami. I want to know. Clearly, it must be a question of Arjuna. Arjuna is asking that question. So, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. Like that he's asking. That Prakriti is Maya. That Purusha is Brahma, Ishvara. In fact, Ishvara is Brahma, Maya Sahita Brahma, we call Ishvara. Understand now? Now, if you ask what is the connection between Brahma and Ishvara, this is the connection. Maya Sahita Brahma is Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara is powerful. This power comes from that, Maya Sahita. Therefore, anything can happen. Creation is possible, preservation is possible, resolution is possible, Shiva is possible, Vishnu is possible, Brahmaji is possible. Correct? All these things come to Brahma, Maya, Sahita, Brahma. Then what about this Maya? When did Maya come into being? Maya is Anadi. Like Brahma is Anadi, Maya is Anadi. Means it did not, it always was there. It always was there. Maya always was there. It cannot have a starting point. Maya is Anadi. Even for a simple question like did the chicken, the hen come first or the egg come first? Even for that question, we don't have a proper answer yet. We don't have an answer. So therefore, Maya must be Anadi. Brahma must be Anadi. So unmanifest, the Jagat could have been unmanifest. The seed could have been there for a long time before the tree was formed. That also is there. So one aspect of Maya is Anaditvam. Maya is Anadi. So like consciousness, Maya is Anadi. Then Maya is Mithya. If you ask the question, is it Satyam or Mithya? What can you say? If you say Maya is Satyam, then we have two Satyams. Not possible. So Maya depends on Brahma, Satyam. That is why the author says very clearly, Brahmashraya Maya. Brahmashraya Maya asti. Brahmashraya. Brahmashraya means what? It's like the word Pitambara. You know, when I was studying Hindi, I had so much difficulty with Hindi, and I didn't have a proper teacher. I mean, teachers were good. I think I just somehow I needed some help. I didn't have that help, but I remember this one word, Pitambar. Peet hai ambar jiska. Like that, my teacher used to tell. Peet hai ambar jiska means what? Pitaha means yellow. Ambar means cloth. So the one whose cloth is yellow or whose dress is yellow is called Pitambar. Correct? So this word Pitambar, it has two words, Pita and Ambara. Correct? Pita and Ambara. Yeah. Pita means yellow. Ambara means cloth. But you join these two words, it doesn't mean Pita, it doesn't mean Ambara. It refers to a fellow, somebody who is wearing a yellow cloth. The person is not there. The word person is not there in this. So in Sanskrit, such a combination of words is called a samasa, and a particular type of samasa called Bahuvrihi samasa. So some Sanskrit class students are there, so I'm saying it. Bahuvrihi samasa means two words, many words, there can be two, even three or four words joined together, but the actual meaning of this combined word refers to something else, which has some attributes of all these fragments. So same thing, like Pitambar here, Brahmashraya. Brahmashraya has two words, Brahma and Ashrayaha. And same thing, just like Preet hai Ambar jiska, Brahm hai Ashray jiska. Which means what? The one who has Brahman as the Ashraya. The one that the word Brahmashraya refers to. Brahmashraya refers to that which has the Ashraya as Brahma. That is the way to look at this word. That is the way to unfold the meaning of the word. And what is that Brahmashraya? Yes, that is Maya. Maya. Brahmashraya, Maya, Asti. So in Sanskrit, nouns and adjectives have to grammatically are identical. So if the noun is feminine, adjective has to be feminine. If the noun is in first case, adjective has to be in first case. Like that. So much so that it won't be easy for us to identify where the noun is. In English, generally it's easy. So red horse. So red is adjective, we say horse is noun. But in Sanskrit, these words will look identical. Shvetaha Ashvaha. Shvetaha Ashvaha. Unless you know the meaning, if you know Ashvaha is horse, then you can say, yeah, that's the noun. But in Sanskrit, really speaking, there is no such thing called noun also. There is only something called Subantam. And Ashvaha is Subanta. Shvetaha is Subanta. And then it's up to you to decide what is noun, what is adjective. It just leaves it to you. Okay. So, anyway, Brahmashraya Maya Asti. Okay. This much we have seen. And so that is where the so-called Mata and Pita, Jagatav Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwara. This dance happens, Shiva cannot dance without Parvati. This is the meaning, the creation cannot happen without Parvati. Okay. Okay. So, Brahmashraya Maya Asti. Maya is Anadi. Maya is Mithya. Okay. Now, then the author says, Sattva Rajas Tamo Gunatmika. Uses another adjective. So we have to spend a little time on that. Guna. Guna means what here? It means some kind of a faculty, some attribute, some power, some shakti, some qualities, some aspects. Some aspects called Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Gunatmika. Atmika means, hey, this Maya is something that is endowed with. Atmika means endowed with. Is endowed with these three attributes called Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. That is what author is making. Sattvam. So many of you already know these things. Sattvam. So the aspect of thinking, aspect of knowing, which happens only in a living being. That aspect is Sattvam, the ability to know. And thereby, a lot of these values also come under Sattvam. So the honesty, dharma, all these things are they say sattvic qualities. Sattvam, they are all associated with Sattvam. And even among foods, those which are beneficial to the human body are called Sattvam. Sattvic foods, like that they say. No, anglicized way of saying Sattvic. Sattvic, the word is neither English nor Sanskrit. It is completely combined. So I have very creative people. So some people are very good at it. They say they have certified They have sethified means what? Sethified means they have added. Sekano means combined. So have you sethified all the water, salt, everything? Roti, pakana hai na? You have to mix. Have you sethified? So have you mixed all these things? So if you know these two languages, we can come up with a third and a fourth language also. So sattva, then rajas. Rajas implies activity, any motion, any dynamics, and that energy is referred to by the word rajas. Okay? And so there also you have to bring in living beings. Only living beings can act. But then you see action in the tree is shaking because of the wind. Apparently, the water is flowing. There's no living being, so to speak, where action you see. There is volcanoes, there is landslides, mudslides, everything is happening. So action is there. Rajas is there. Need not be associated with a living being, but any sense of action is attributed the quality of rajas. And then tamas. Tamas is the power that suppresses activity and thinking, suppresses the other two. Sattvam and rajas suppressed by tamas. So we can say in English, we can use the word inertia. Nice word, inertia. I like that word. Inertia means what? That which prevents things from moving is inertia. In physics, that's the way it is, right? Inertia. A measure of mass, a measure of resistance, correct? This is called inertia. So Jnana Shakti, Sattva. So Kriya Shakti, Rajas. And here Dravya Shakti. Dravya in Sanskrit. Dravya means material, mass, something that has the potency to stop movement, that has the potential to stop sattva. So I don't work. I have a tendency to lie. I have these attributes. I abuse people. We say tamas. This tamas just taken over and just clouded my mind, and I behave in ways that I should not behave. So tamas again there. The tamas is also important because otherwise these tables and fans will start talking to me. The table will tell me, what is this? You stacked so many books on me, huh? And you seem to be buying books which you don't read at all. Which is true. It's a true statement. I used to buy a lot of books, and I have a lot. And when I was doing my PhD, I was so excited. Whenever I go into the bookstore, I buy books. And I am a chemical engineer. I buy quantum mechanics book. And what have I got to do with quantum mechanics? I don't know. I will buy the book. And beautiful cover, nice smell, everything. I used to open, read it, 2 pages, close it, and it is sitting there. And I gave away all these books. Because at some point you have to give up all these things. There's no space. And so the table says, you're arguing with me. Now start arguing also. At least if you read these books, at least I will also feel good that, look, I'm helping Jaykumar read like this. But you don't touch any of these books also. And stack is there, sitting there from the last year, but the stack is building up. And now dust also on top of it, 1 inch dust is there. And so I'm tired of this life. Do something about this. So tamas is important. So where tamas is needed, let it be there. So tamas in us we try to work on, but elsewhere tamas is okay. So this Brahma is powerless without Maya. Brahma activates Maya, and thereby everything happens. Saundarya Lahari, some of you know, can appreciate that, right? First verse, I think, right? Shiva Shaktya Yukto. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktah Prabhavitum. Those days in college, there was when I was growing up, I never knew this verse, Soundarya and all that. But there was a movie called Thai Mukambikai, and this Ilayaraja music. And so suddenly Ilayaraja, the king, the so-called, at least in southern India, king of music, those days like Rahman of these days, and he sings in his own voice. Doesn't happen often, but he sings this voice. So I remember that he was singing this Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktaf Prabhavitum, like that he sings. That is just saying, look at that. Shivaha Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati. Yadi Bhavati, if this happens, what happens? Shivaha Bhavati. If Shiva, what happens to Shiva? Shaktya Yuktaha. Yadi. Shivaha Shaktya Yuktaha. If Shiva joins with Shakti, if Shiva partners with Shakti, then what happens? Prabhavitum Shaktaha. Just the words just are just popping out. Prabhavitum means what? Creating. Shaktaha, capable of creating. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktaf Prabhavitum. This Shiva is able to create. Shaktaf Prabhavitum. Then next line. Nachedevam Nakhalu. Correct? Nachedevam. Nachet. Evam Nachet. If it is not like this, Evam Nachet means if it is not like this, Yadi Evam Na Bhavati, then what? Nachedevam Nakhalu. Nakhalu Kushalaha Spanditumapi. Nakhalu. Not possible. Not possible. What's not possible? Spanditum Kushalaha. Kushalaha means capable, expert, capable of doing. Capable of doing what? Spanditum. Again, creating, manifesting this word. Not possible. So these two lines in Saundarya Lahari makes it very clear how this Shiva and Parvati must be needed to for this creation to happen. So Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktaf Prabhavitum Nachedevam Nakhalu Kushalaha Spanditum Api. Like that it goes. So Brahma happens to be what? Nirgunam. Brahma free, no attributes, free of attributes. Brahma is Nirvikaram, free of form, free of change. Brahma is Chetanam, consciousness is Brahma. But what about Maya? Brahma is Nirgunam, Maya is Sagunam with attributes. Brahma is Nirvikaram, free of attributes. Maya is Savikaram, endowed with attributes. And Brahma is Chetanam, conscious. Maya is Achetanam. Achetanam. Maya gets its consciousness from Brahma, but otherwise it's Achetanam. Like the body. Like the body. Body is Jada. Body is not conscious. Body borrows its consciousness from me, the conscious being. Correct? So, Brahma and Maya. Given this, then evolution, in fact, I have to be careful. Creation, even there I have to be careful. Because all these words are powerful, loaded words. Because evolution, if I say Darwin's evolution comes to my mind. And creation, if I say the Western idea of creation comes to my mind. A non-scientific idea of creation comes to mind. So, manifestation is possible. safe manifestation is possible. Colloquially we can say the creation of this world is possible. The evolution within quotes is possible, given Brahma and Maya. And so now he is beginning to talk about that model of creation. So let's chant this next verse, next line, which is 2-3. So let's see. Bhagya, you can unmute yourself. Rest of you can stay muted. Okay, everybody else also can chant. Tataha Akashas
Akashasambhutaha
Akashad Vayuhu
Akashadvayuhu
Vayostejaha
Vayostejaha
Tejasaha Apaha
Tejasaha Apaha
or Tejasa Apaha
Tejasa Apaha
Adbhyah Prithvi
Adbhyah Prithivi.
Yeah. So he's beginning to give this process of how this world began. Okay, look at this. The first sentence itself tells us a lot. So tataha akashaha sambhutaha. Okay. Now, before we go there, we can make some comments. We've already seen Brahmashraya Maya is required for this creation. Brahma, of course, cannot create by being Brahma. Brahma blesses. Brahma blesses Maya and say, go ahead, create. This is the idea. Like, for us to act, for us to do something, we need light. We need light. If it's all dark, we can't really do anything. So, light is like Brahma. Just an example, that's all. Like Brahma blesses us and we are able to interact with each other. Without light, we can't interact. And light, of course, is all pervasive and we can interact. So in that way, Brahma blesses Maya for the creation to be possible. So then what this evolution and all you talk about, what is it? Does Brahma evolve? Today's Brahma must be a lot more advanced, sophisticated. You know, today's world is advanced. Therefore, today's Brahma is more sophisticated. We are luckier than our rishis. We got a more sophisticated Brahma. No, Brahma cannot evolve because Brahma, everything is Brahma. Brahma cannot evolve. Maya undergoes all these transformations. Maya. So in the presence of Brahma, Maya transforms, Maya manifests as this world. Remember manifestation. So it's much easier if you think of manifestation. Tree did not come out of nothing. The seed must be there. So that seed, think of it. Magically, tree cannot come. So seed must be there, and nutrition must be there, and water, etc. must be there. And of course, the tree comes, and the law of conservation of mass and energy holds very much. So then evolution word also we don't like to use because, as I said earlier, Darwin's theory of evolution, and no, that it can happen. Let it happen. We are not denying that kind of evolution happened. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you all hear me? Okay. So we try not to use that word evolution. So manifestation is the safest word. So occasionally when we say evolution, we are talking about this next statement by Akasha, Sambhutaha, Vayu, etc. It appears like an evolution. So we can just use that word. But our understanding has to be proper. Even though we may use that word, I will make it clear. Okay. So before we get into this Akasha Sambhutaha, let me mention there are 4 stages in this model that Shastra is going to present. First stage is the subtle Panchabhuta. It's a Panchabhuta model we talked about earlier, right? So Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha and Prithvi. And so the subtle elements, Sukshma Panchabhutani, the formation of the Sukshma Panchabhutani. So Sukshma Bhuta Srishtihi is the first stage. Then these elements combine to form, like in chemistry, molecules, and bigger things can happen when these elements combine. So that Panchabhuta, Bhuta will be called an element, right? Element. When elements combine with each other, we use the word in English called elemental. And in Sanskrit, we use the word bhautikam. Bhautikam. Bhutam, from bhuta, the element, you get bhautikam. The combination of elements. And in English, we can use the word elemental. Elemental. And that is called what? So first is Sukshma Bhuta Srishti. Second is Sukshma Bhautika Srishti. Correct? Bhautika. Because elements are combining to form elementals, called Bhautika. So when they talk about these worlds which are not visible to us, and the Maharloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, etc., all these lokas, Swarga, it's also a loka. They talk and they say it's not visible to our eyes. So anything that is, it's also a world, Sukshma Prapancha, it's called. Prapancha. They are all Sukshma and they are all Sukshma Bhautika Srishti. Subtle worlds. Subtle worlds. Okay. So that is stage number 2. Stage number 3 is Sthula, now grossification. Something that is more tangible is going to be formed, something that is more physical, something that can be visible, and that is called Sthulam. From Sukshma we get into Sthulam, and so Sthula Bhuta Srishti. Gross elements, Sthula Bhuta. Then after that we have Sthula Bhautika Srishti. The Sthula Bhutas will combine to form Sthula Bhautikam. Sthula gross elements are combining to form gross elementals. And so that is the 4th stage of this so-called creation process. 4 stages are there. There's some background. I'm not sure if he's going to literally say there are 4 stages, but he will simply talk about this creation model, which we will begin to see from the next class. Okay. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahishaha O Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasyashalini देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ